Yo, what up, players? So this time I want to do something a little different, something a little special. Hopefully people tune into this type of video or this kind of throwback, retro, like a retro review. That's what I'll call it, a retro review. And as you can tell by the title of the video, we're gonna take a look at my boy here, the ultimate alien ass kicker, Duke Nukem from the Duke Nukem Forever game. Yeah. Cool. So I copped this guy off from Mercari from a seller, had it for 40 bucks. Of course, as y'all know, plus taxes and shipping. They did mention that there was dings and nicks. However, the seller ended up, all I can do is just laugh about it. The seller ended up stuffing this full inside a box much smaller than the actual blister itself. So as you can see, it's super dented up the top. But it is what it is. I was gonna pop this bad boy open, and I thought for 40 bucks, why not? And why not shoot a little video, a little review, so y'all can have some nostalgia here with me. So as you can see, this is NECA's player select line. I wonder if they're ever going to bring that back, even though they're still making video game figures. It's all in the blister box, OG blister box that they used to put their video game figures on. There is the front of the box. There's an image of the video game Duke there. The little biohazard sign at the back, Duke Nukem Forever. Here's some promo images of the actual figure that we're going to take a look at. On the back here, you got a promo image of the video game Duke Nukem with the Porquito head there, Duke Nukem Forever. Some readables here. I'm gonna attach a separate image so that way you guys can see, because you guys don't want to miss out on this. This is funny. And according to this readable, this guy's telling us that he's the only pocket figure that we'll ever need. So you're probably gonna be curious about reading that. Aside from that, the bottom you got the barcode, NECA, player select, gearbox, 2K games, so on and so forth, unreadables, legalese, yada. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy off the blister, because I think he needs a little breathing, and take a closer look at the figure. Alright, get ready to hail to the king, to none other than Bing Bang Boom, Senor Nukem himself. Not looking bad, Mr. Nukem, not looking bad. I can't get over how nostalgic this guy is. It's just giving me a lot of flashbacks. Very throwback. Okay, so in the accessories department, what he comes with is his little 1911 here. Let's zoom in. 1911. This is a starter weapon that you get during the beginning of the game. This is the first gun you get. What it does have, like the badass that he is, of course he's not gonna get just any 1911. He's gonna get that one with the gold hits at the top. So he's got the gold hit on the 1911 there, and then of course the black finishes rest around the other side, the other pieces of the gun, where the trigger's at. And then in terms of the handle, it has this like off-white finish. And I don't know if you guys can tell off the video, but there is glitter across the 1911, the M1911 itself. I think this was NECA's attempt to make it metallic. So I want to say they were trying to go for a metallic look, so they threw in that glitter effect. But again, this is a 2011 design, so can't shame him for that. And the only other accessory he does come with is his cigar, because just like smoking his enemies, he needs to be able to smoke his cigars. So hopefully you guys can, there's not much detail to it. Yeah, just a little stripe there, and then the rest of it is brown. Alrighty, so going into the figure. So overall, the figure, for, keep in mind once again, 2011 fig, paint apps and accessories. Accessories, I wish he could have came with a different gun, especially being that he has the grenade launcher ammunition here on his overall strap. That would have been nice if they threw in like a grenade launcher or whatnot, but it is what it is. So for the figure itself, has some nice detailing, especially again for a back then fig. All across his skin, he does have wash, and like no shading, but just a bunch of wash all across his skin. On his hair, that sick ass throwback flat top, flat as heck. Yeah, he does have two tones of that blonde, so he has the darker shade tones, and of course the lighter shade. You got the G-Lokes that he's rocking, which is just a flat matte black. The flesh all across. Now the only thing is that I don't know why they did this, but the flesh skin here around his collarbone and neck, it does have that glossy finish rather than it being matte. So the rest of the figure is matte with the exception of that piece. So I think they kind of messed up there. Yeah, I don't know why they went ahead and did that. That's kind of odd, especially being that I think someone in the paint department kind of messed up, because this is all painted on. All right, so he's rocking that red tank, that iconic red tank that Duke Nukem's known for. It does have, of course, wash. You can't really tell because of the shading that the lights throwing, but there is definitely some wash all across his shirt and his pants. The detailing on his pants, the molding all across the figure is nice as heck. And then, of course, steel-toed boots, because he has to be able to stomp on them alien pigs. Little pig, let me in. So hopefully you guys can get an idea or a look-see in terms of the detail across Senor Nukem himself. And his little his waist pockets, his little utility pockets, does have kind of like an olive green finish to them. And the detailing, of course, on his buckle and the back of his overall straps, they threw in those silver hits. Yeah, they definitely gave this guy detail across the board. So the paint apps, I'm not complaining about. Again, especially a throwback figure, and his sick ass belt there. Yeah, you gotta be able to tell who the hell he's gonna nuke. You see that belt? You better walk away. All right, so now in terms of the articulation, so he does have a ball and joint neck. It doesn't go up much, unfortunately. It doesn't go down much, unfortunately. He does have some kind of pivot. In terms of his arms, he does have, I believe it's a ball and joint as well, ball and socket. So he's able to strike that much of a T-pose, not much of a T-pose. And then he has this interesting, I don't think I've ever seen this on the figure ever after again. But they could have just gave him a cut here, like an upper arm cut, but instead they gave him this weird swivel. Like if you look here, like it's an actual swivel. A hinge, my bad, a hinge, not a swivel. So the hinge goes sideways. So if you lift his arm up and then move it sideways, then you got that weird funky whatever the heck that is. Now the reason I think I can believe they did that is maybe they're trying to go for that like buff man walking down the aisle of a gym effect. I don't know, like, hey, what's up, bruh? Get out my way. He does have single jointed elbows, ball and socket for the wrist. So it does rotate 360, goes up, down, goes up. In terms of his upper torso, he does have a big hinge, but it is you can't see thankfully you can't see the joints, all seamless, but it hinges down that much and it goes back that much, and rotator across the waist. His leg goes up that much, doesn't go back much, actually doesn't go back at all, and that butt cheek is getting in the way. And he does have, now that's one hinge, and then the second hinge allows him to do the splits on both legs, so he's able to do the splits. He does have an upper thigh cut right here, so you can rotate that to a full 360. He does have double jointed knees, so that's pretty cool. And then a ball and socket for the ankle that allows him to go up that and down that much. And then doesn't have much of a pivot. Hopefully you guys can make that out. All right, cool. So that's Duke Nukem's look and articulation. I just want to do some comparisons with him and some other lines and some other figures that he's notorious compared to. All right, now let's compare Mr. Equal Opportunity Ass Kicker over to some other figures, other lines, and other iconic characters, video game characters. Just because I think that'll be fun to do. But before we do so, let's see how he sizes. It looks like, yep, to the top of his head, 7 inches. 7 inches to the T, which makes him slightly short of 18 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so in actual height, he is, I looked it up, about 6'2". And so now here is Senor Doomslayer, the OG Classic Skin Edition from McFarlane. And I also want to put up here none other than Master Chief. So 3 of the most iconic video game characters out there. And I am gonna say it, these three really scale nice amongst each other. I mean, you can't really tell in terms of scaling when they're on the shelf, especially if you got them posed, but in terms of scaling, they do scale well. So if you have this figure already, then cool, you're gonna know that these scale. However, if you're a big gamer and you're looking to pick this figure up in the second market, because that's the only way you're gonna find them, then it's not a bad idea, especially if you're concerned in regards to the scaling amongst your other video game characters, if that's what you're interested in doing. So that's that. Now, I also want to compare him over to some Storm collectibles. Being, you know, he's a video game character, why not throw out the most iconic ninjas out there? So you got the Mortal Kombat 2, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and they are, of course, taller. So they are going to be taller than Senor Nukem himself. So that's that. Also, being that this is a NECA figure, NECA has always been doing a 7-inch scale. So here is the OG Yautja from the first Predator. This is a Jungle Hunter. Apologies, he does cut off, but that goes to show you that he's a lot taller. And then I also want to throw out there the T-800 from Terminator 2. Now, fun fact, Duke Nukem, of course, was based off of a bunch of the ass-kicking 90s actors, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was one of them. So I think that's a good comparison to put them up against. Alrighty, and then these two, I just want to throw them in just for different lines. Here's a Marvel Legends Deadpool, so that way you guys can see how he sizes up against your average Marvel Legend figures. And then an SH Figuart Aquaman. Alright, hopefully you guys get an idea. Hopefully this gives you a solid idea of how Senor Nukem looks amongst your other figures, which, I mean, I'm digging, I love. And if they decide to make or reissue this, that would be super dang dope. But before they do that, I think they might have to make another game, another iteration of the game. But it sounds like there was a bunch of drama back in 2011 with the video game and its publishers and makers and the studios that was behind it. So let's see if that happens. But if it does not, you can at least get an idea and pick this guy up from the second market. All right. So that about wraps up Panchos' Palace very first retro fig review on, again, the Alien Killer, Lady Killer, Alien Stomper, you name it. He had so many cheesy lines on Duke Nukem from Duke Nukem Forever, the video game. Hopefully you guys digged it. I'm looking to make more of these, as I think they're pretty fun, especially looking back on some of the throwbacks and figs that maybe we forgot about. But if you guys did like this video, please drop a like. If you're into this kind of content, I'm looking to make this and continue this going for the long run, so please subscribe. And if you have any feedback for me, drop a comment below. Aside from that, this is Pancho signing out of Panchos' Palace. That's it for me. Lates.